Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages. I'm your host, James Von 007, tuning into at James Von 007 TV Sports Talk. Yeah, let's get it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? January 17th, 2023, Friday, late night hype. Yeah, I had to get back with y'all because for the simple fact, I had some technical difficulties, so the show wasn't aired Monday, but I'm here anyway. So I'm grinding tonight. You know what I'm saying? And don't trip. That show's gonna be coming up this Sunday, so don't even trip. But right now, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna focus on tonight's show. But guess what? There's a lot of good news about this show. I have a whole lot more to talk about. So keep that in mind. I have a whole lot more to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So first off, before I forget, I gotta give a big shout out. Okay, before I get into the Super Bowl talk, gotta give a shout out. Dr. Larry Burchett, big Chiefs, Kansas City Chiefs fan, excuse me. So I gotta say first off, congratulations to him. Give my hat off to him, of course, excuse me. Hey, right on, man. You shot me the picture. You were at the Super Bowl, man. You know what I'm saying? So you was representing for real, you know what I'm saying? But also gotta give a shout out to my main man, Big Al. Sorry that your Eagles lost, but someone had to lose, right? Either the Kansas City Chiefs or the Philadelphia Eagles. But unfortunately, your team came up short. Before I forget, because I don't want nobody to be bugging out there. But anyway, give a shout out to, I guess he's an Eagles fan, so give a big shout out to Ned. Ned from the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? I guess he's an Eagles fan now, so I want to give a shout out to Ned. But that Super Bowl was interesting. It was a great Super Bowl, but like I say, give a shout out to both teams, the Kansas City Chiefs and, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. But, of course, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs for pulling from behind. The Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Philadelphia Eagles with the score of 38-35. It'll definitely go down as one of the greatest Super Bowls of all time. And I'm excited, For one, the Super Bowl was a good Super Bowl, and two, it's over now. So now we can definitely go into, the off season of the NFL. So it all starts with teams who will definitely waive certain players who make maybe too much money under their budget, players who they just don't want to have them service for them anymore, if that makes sense. Of course, free agency comes up. I believe that's March 15th. So it's under a month away as we speak. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, if you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you have to be excited all across the world, not just Kansas City, Missouri, but of course all over the world, because there are a lot of Kansas City Chiefs fans. One thing I want to point out is, they showed the Super Bowl. Listen, people in Brazil, they were watching it. I believe it was Rio, don't quote me, but when I watched the Super Bowl, I was very impressed. If you go to Ghana in Africa, they were rocking it too. You know what I'm saying? There was a gang of, basically it was all Eagle fans there. Now don't quote me. I want to say it was either Ireland or it was Rio. No, actually, no. Rio had a bunch of Philadelphia Eagle fans too. I want to say it was either, Australia or Ireland. I know they were all rocking Chiefs jerseys. It was a trip how they showed 3 different countries, and everybody in that party room were rocking either the Eagles, all Eagles, or the next country they had on all Kansas City Chiefs jerseys or shirts. But they were rocking it. And by the way, before I get into the Super Bowl, this Super Bowl was the third most watched Super Bowl in Super Bowl history. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give kudos to, the Kansas City Chiefs and, of course, the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I'm saying? So, it was just a lot of great drama, that was involved in this Super Bowl. And when I say drama, you had a lot going on. First off, the first time ever, as I said on my previous show, the first time ever in a Super Bowl where we had two African-American black quarterbacks going up against each other. It's about damn time. So I was excited about that, although my team didn't make it, as you see. So you know who I'm rocking, right? I got on my 49ers Colin Kaepernick jersey, okay? So don't forget, he was there back in 2012, but he couldn't bring it home back to San Francisco. But we'll talk about that at another time. But the bottom line is it was beautiful to see two African-American quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles and, of course, Patrick Mahomes for the Kansas City Chiefs to go head up. That was, that was beautiful, right? Then, of course, other good drama. You had the Kelsey brothers going against each other. Jason Kelsey of the Philadelphia Eagles, he plays center, in case all of you YouTube viewers don't know. He went up against his brother for the Kansas City Chiefs. We all know Travis Kelsey, who is a tight end, and he's probably the best tight end in the league. I'm not going to be biased and say George Kittle's is, but he's right there. He's at number 2, but Kelsey, he's the guy right now, and I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. I'm not going to be hating on Travis Kelsey, but he is probably the best tight end in the league, and I don't have a problem with saying that, like I said, because I don't try to be biased by any means necessary. So, but with that being said, their mother had to, that's a tough rooting thing to do when you have two sons playing, in the Super Bowl. And the fact that, again, I don't know who she was going for, but I just know it was tough to see one of her sons lose the Super Bowl, and one of her sons actually did lose the Super Bowl. But what I felt that was beautiful about that was the mere fact that I seen her hug Jason Kelsey. I don't know what was said, but I'm pretty sure, he probably told her, hey, Mom, look, I did my best, yada, yada, yada. But I did see him tell her that I love you. And by the way, this is Black History Month, February 2023. So I'm just very excited. For the first time ever, we had a black national anthem. I know there was a lot of controversy because I know a lot of people who weren't, should I say, not black. They didn't want to stand up for the black national anthem. And you know what? At the end of the day, as much as certain people were upset, but just remember, and I'm not, like I say, I don't sugarcoat nothing. I don't try to put people down, but at the end of the day, people do have their rights to do what they want to do. If they don't want to stand up, that's fine. That's like the national anthem. Some people don't stand up for that still to this day. And I know that was started by who do I have on? Colin Kaepernick and the rest of the NFL players who played in that time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to get into the political side, but I understand if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. And at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You can't change people. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem with this world. People expect people to change because they want them to know it doesn't work that way. You allow people to change at their own will and at that time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100 with all y'all on here who support my show, and I appreciate it. It should never, and I'm going to say this, and just peep game, peep play. I'm going to say this once. It should never be about color. Whether if you're white, black, yellow, brown, pink, green, blue, know what I mean? It's all about representing yourself as a positive person. So with that being said, I know I'm going to speak about the United States so much and not the world because I'm not in Africa. I'm not in Spain or Russia or let's say Japan, you feel me, or the Philippines. But the bottom line is here in the United States, they got work to do. I will say that. But I'm the type of person that's very positive. I get along with everybody. As long as you respect me, I respect you. I give you the benefit of the doubt. That's who I am. You feel me? That's why I'm able to collaborate with everybody because I'm a free-spirited person because I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? And it takes a lot to accept, your flaws and your downfalls, whether if it's sports or if it's whatever you do. But again, I welcome everybody to my show. I don't care how you look. If you act a certain way, just be respectful, be cordial about that. So I just wanted to get that out there. That's all. That it should never come down to color and race. But unfortunately, we're still living in a world where certain people of all has to, should I say, not has to be, but they act ignorant. That's what I'm trying to say. Excuse me. So at the end of the day, for me, it was an honor to see the fact that they had a black national anthem. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was beautiful. You feel me? After all, this is Black History Month, as I said earlier. But at the end of the day, it's all good. You know, like for me it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have a whole lot of problems with people. You know what I'm saying? Once when they see me, you can hear from my voice. You feel me? So at the end of the day, hopefully, we can all get along and get things together. We disagree to agree. That's just the way it is. That's how we make the world go around. That's like when I didn't argue with someone this week about sports, but we were just talking about the Super Bowl. And like I said before, and let's talk about the Super Bowl. What I said is that I just felt there was no way that the Philadelphia Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl. I just felt there was no way that Jalen Hurts was just going to come out of nowhere, because he did. Although he got his team to the playoffs last year and they lost to then defending champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Tom Brady. Tampa Bay barely got by them, but the bottom line was I knew the Philadelphia Eagles weren't going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? Just plain simple. There's lots of reasons why. Am I a conspiracy theorist? To a degree, I am. But I just knew that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Why? Here's the main reason why. If you give Patrick Mahomes a chance to win in the fourth quarter, he's going to find a way. He's going to find a way to will his team or rally his team to victory. Give credit not only to Andy Reid, give credit to Eric Bellamy, the offensive coordinator. And Andy Reid gave kudos to Eric Bellamy. He gave him all the credit. So let's go back. First half, the Eagles were up 24-14. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles, outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the first half. No doubt about that. I was a little surprised, but it shows you what type of quarterback young dude is. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Hurts. I mean, he played his butt off. Besides the fumble, I felt maybe that came back to haunt him maybe at the end. But outside of that, look, dude was grinding out there. Getting touchdown passes to Devontae Smith, or if it was A.J. Brown, oh boy, was balling. And he had a couple touchdowns, you know what I'm saying, like in the first half, So it's like, or I should have said catches to those players, because I know one of them players, I don't have the stat sheet with me, but I know one of them players got a touchdown, I believe, in the first half. Don't quote me, but they were up 24-14. So that tells me one thing. The defense of the Chiefs wasn't playing right. The offense, they played okay. You know what I'm saying? From Isaiah Pacheco to Travis Kelce to Juju they were playing Juju Smith. I'm sorry, but they were playing. They were, Kansas City, they were, they're trying to hang in there. You know what I'm saying? But the missed field goal, I felt hurt them, and I was wondering if that would affect them. I'm referring to the Kansas City Chiefs. So make the long story short, halftime came, and what a beautiful performance by Rihanna. She came out. She was beautiful in red. Had a surprise for us all. Come to find out she's pregnant with her second child. Congratulations to her and her dude. You know what I'm saying? But it was just a beautiful halftime show. The commercials were pretty cool. But they weren't, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like, so like the movies that I saw, like the previews and stuff like that, they were okay. You know what I'm saying? But they, but I expected maybe to see a Friday 13th. I was expected to see maybe a Friday 13th preview, or maybe a Nightmare on Elm Street preview. For real, I was. But the Fast and the Furious, they coming out with, I believe, a 10. X is a 10, right? So, no, that was the one that stood out. When I saw that, I said, Vin Diesel coming back like that? I was like, okay, so we did his thing. You know what I'm saying? A little preview of Fast and the Furious 10. You know what I'm saying? So, I am going to see that. But hold on. I just want to say, but before I see that, I gotta go back to 4 all the way up. So I'm behind like 6 of them. But not real talk though, serious business. But the halftime show was pretty cool, so I liked it. So if you look at the first half, so the Eagles outscored the Chiefs 24-14. But then what happened in the second half? As I told everyone, you go on Twitter. I put my prediction out there that day of the Super Bowl, which was last Sunday. And I'm going to get to it once I'm done with the actual score. So second half, the Chiefs came out on their opening possession. I told everybody, they got to score right there because I had got all these different text messages and all this stuff on Twitter saying, Jay, what's going on, baby? Your prediction don't look good. I said, oh, okay. I didn't say nothing. So I said, all right, bet. Second half, what happened? The Chiefs came out, but I did say if the Chiefs didn't score off that possession, because remember, they deferred in the first half, the Eagles got the ball, and they scored right away. And then, of course, the Chiefs scored. But anyhow, so Patrick Mahomes got them down the field. But what I don't understand about teams who do these scouting reports, I don't understand why Travis Kelce, the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, I don't understand why he always gets open. He always gets wide open. I mean, I don't get it. And me and somebody else was talking about that Monday because I guess, matter of fact, it was a Raider fan. Oh, I got to give a shout out to my boy Larry. Hey, what's going on, Larry? Larry, Raider Nation. What's going on, man? Matter of fact, he was the one that talked about it. But my thing is this. I don't know why that cat get open like that. They be leaving that cat wide open. You know what I'm saying? But the Chiefs came out in the second half, and they outscored the Eagles. I believe it was 24-10. So do the math. Because remember, 24-14, right? Yeah, it was 24-14, wasn't it? They were up by 10. And then, the Chiefs came out. To me, when they scored, to me, that was the biggest thing. Because remember, if you go back to the second quarter, hold on, was it the second quarter? Or was it the third quarter? I think it was, hold on. Matter of fact, no, maybe I'm thinking it was the third quarter. I forget who the receiver was. I don't know if it was A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, but I know one of them caught the ball. This is when the Chiefs scored to put the game 24-21. But I remember when the Chiefs were playing defense, I remember, and like I said, don't quote me on the receiver, but somebody could comment to let me know who that receiver was because my memory isn't that vivid right now. But anyhow, the receiver caught the ball and turned around and he got popped. I don't remember the defender for the Kansas City Chiefs. To make the long story short, he had got the ball and ran it in for a touchdown. But then they called it back. They said he didn't have possession. I said, that's BS. He had possession of the ball, I felt, but I guess when he turned around, he's supposed to plant 2 feet when he turns around, but I felt like he had possession of the ball. So I felt that maybe that was going to be the game changer. But to me, the changes was the fact that the Eagles on defense couldn't stop the Kansas City Chiefs. They couldn't stop Patrick Mahomes. Because if you look at that game, Patrick Mahomes, look, he never got sacked in the game. Jalen Hurts got sacked, I think, for the first time in the third quarter. So the Chiefs' defense didn't look good in the first half primarily, but the second half, they came through. You know what I'm saying? So, rest my case, the Chiefs, when they ended up taking the lead, I was concerned when they were up, what was it? When they went up 28-24, I was still concerned. That's what it was. I think that's when that fumble would happen because the Eagles came back down and scored, so they got the field goal, or was it the touchdown? I think it was a touchdown first because they took the lead. That's right. They took the lead, and then the Chiefs came back down and scored, and then I know the Eagles got a field goal, I believe. So actually, I take that back. No, the game was tied at 35-35. That's all I know. But to me, when the Chiefs got down the field, remember, it was under 2 minutes to go. I kept saying that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs should have scored the touchdown, but I guess they were worried about the Philadelphia Eagles, coming all the way back to tie the game, because that's right, they were down 35. No, that's right, 35-35. That's right. So they were worried about them. So my thing was this: when it was tied, at 35-35, I wanted the Chiefs to score the touchdown, so that way the Eagles would have had to have made the drive back down the field. But unfortunately, they were concerned that maybe the defense couldn't hold Jalen Hurts and that Philadelphia Eagles offense to either a turnover or turnovers on downs. So I think it was third and was it third and goal or third and 8? Matter of fact, I think it was third and 8. That's right, because they were on the 20, I believe the Chiefs were. The Pats interference call came on the defender for the Eagles. And a lot of people said, well, they shouldn't have called the call because they were doing a lot of holding all game. The defenders on both sides of the teams were basically holding, and the referees let it go. But unfortunately, as I said, I just felt the Chiefs weren't going to lose that game, and they called it. And I understand, because when I first saw it, I thought that the receiver had a chance to catch the ball. But, of course, when I looked at it later, clearly that receiver didn't have a chance to catch the ball, but they called pass interference. It was first down. And then, of course, the Chiefs ran the clock out. Patrick Mahomes slid a couple times. And then they kicked the field goal. So, unfortunately, 4 seconds to go. And then, the rest is history. Jalen Hurts threw the Hail Mary, you know what I'm saying? And, he wasn't able to get it into the end zone. Pass was incomplete. And then that was that. But Patrick Mahomes ended up being the MVP of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I did get that right. I predicted he would be the MVP. And so, anyhow, the Chiefs beat the Eagles 38-35, but my original score that day of the Super Bowl, I predicted that the score would be 37-27, and I would have got it right at the beginning if that play had not got reversed from the Chiefs popping that receiver, grabbing the ball and running it in. You know what I'm saying? I felt because then if they had held up, I'm just saying, like, if they had held up everything, it would have been 38-27, but I predicted that the Chiefs will win, if that makes sense. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes, is the MVP. 6 years, 2 Super Bowls, all AFC championship appearances besides getting to the Super Bowl. All of you know that he lost the Super Bowl a couple years ago to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I want to talk about the brothers, the Kelce brothers, Jason and Travis. So, little do y'all know, in case y'all don't remember, Jason Kelce won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles back in 2017, when they knocked off, Tom Brady back when he played with the New England Patriots. So they upset the New England Patriots. Remember, Nick Foles was the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and, of course, Doug Peterson was the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, Doug Peterson is the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I just wanted to put that out there. That's all. So he does have a ring, and, of course, we all know Travis Kelce has a Super Bowl ring too. When the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the San Francisco 49ers back in 2019-2000. So we know about that. So one of them had to lose. Now Travis Kelce has 2 Super Bowls. Patrick Mahomes has 2 Super Bowls. And, of course, Andy Reid has 2 Super Bowls. So he's definitely in an elite class. Patrick Mahomes, he's in an elite class. But I won't be – now, I know a lot of people talked about, he's up there with Joe Montana. Come on. Stop being disrespectful. So with Patrick Mahomes, let's see what he does within the next 4 years. And then I will decide, in my opinion, because it's about opinions, and I get it, but still, 6 seasons – he's had a phenomenal career so far. 6 AFC championship games, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 out of 3. That's not bad, but I'm not going to say. And then don't forget, Joe Montana won 2 Super Bowls in 6 seasons too, I believe. Don't quote me, but I believe it's there. So even Terry Bradshaw, I believe too. But at the end of the day, let's wait to see what he does in the next 4 years. It's going to be interesting, though. But he is up there, but I don't put him up there with Joe Montana, not just yet. Remember, Joe Montana got the 4 Super Bowls, and he won all 4. That was my argument back when Tom Brady had won 5 and even 6 Super Bowls, was the fact that Tom Brady had already lost. Well, actually, he lost 3 at that time and won 4. Joe Montana went 4-0. He never got back to the Super Bowl after 1989. But, hey, opinions vary. It is what it is. But again, I'm gonna wait. But Andy Reid, he's won 2 Super Bowls, so he's moved past Mike Holmgren. He's moved past let's say Mike Tomlin. He's moved past several people, Tom Gruden as well. So definitely he's in a different elite status. If you look at who won back-to-back Super Bowls that I know, like let's just say 2. I know, was it Vince Lombardi? He won 2. If you go down the list, Jimmy Johnson won 2 with the Dallas Cowboys. And we know Vince Lombardi won 2 with the Packers. And then if you go down the list, now I'm saying only coaches that have won 2 Super Bowls. If you go down the list, I believe Joe Gibbs has won 2 Super Bowls. I believe Don Shula. So hold on, go back. Don Shula with the Redskins. Let's see, 1. Yeah, I believe 2. No, actually, no, I take that back. No, he's won. Wait, 1, 2. No, he's won 2. Or maybe no. You know what? He won 3. So let's take him off the list. Don Shula, he's won 2. Because I believe he won back-to-back with the Dolphins, I want to say. Got there a couple times, didn't win. So he's up there. If you look at George Seifert is the next guy in line. He won a couple with the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Johnson right after. And after that, who else has won more than – or who's won 2 Super Bowls? No, I'm just trying to think. Oh, Mike Shanahan won back-to-back with the Denver Broncos. So now Andy Reid is there. He's won a couple. Yeah, so I think it's good for him. He's in elite company. But other news after the Super Bowl, of course, Eric Bellamy, as of today, has agreed to become the Washington Commanders' assistant head coach, along with being the offensive coordinator under Ron Rivera. And at that, he's going to call all the plays on offense. Kudos to him. But I believe, I don't know, something's going on with that. I mean, it's a disappointment that he didn't become head coach. Even Patrick Mahomes said that. But to leave Kansas City, I don't understand. But I guess it makes sense because he'll have full control of the offense. So maybe that was it. Because Andy Reid called some plays. Maybe they agreed to disagree. I don't have those answers in front of me to explain to you YouTube followers, but definitely, or YouTube viewers. But definitely there was something going on there. With them two, I feel that's my opinion. Good or bad, whatever, but it's just my opinion. And so at the end of the day, something happened. But hey, congratulations to Eric Bellamy, the new assistant coach, and of course the offensive coordinator now for the Washington Commanders. So we'll see what happens there. Of course, Las Vegas. I don't know how you feel, Las Vegas Raiders. I don't know how you feel about Derek Carr, but anyhow, he's gonna meet up with the New York Jets and Robert Saleh and of course general manager and ownership to see if they can put something together to win. He could become the new quarterback for the New York Jets. That'd be interesting. And there's other news going on. Of course, there's some type of speculation. Real quick. Oh, by the way, representing the Bay Area. I'm in the Bay Area right now as we speak. But definitely there was something that came out with a leak about the 49ers next season, the Super Bowl next year. I guess supposedly something came out with a leak that they're going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals 33-17. I think it's a bunch of bull. It's a bunch of propaganda going on and things like that. Doesn't make sense. We don't know anything. Basically whoever leaked that, okay, so I guess that the league is rigged, I guess. If that happens, then the league is rigged. I'll just put it that way. If the Niners and Bengals play, because, again, anything can happen. So I'm not going to say that part is rigged, but if the Niners win 33-17, then I know the league is rigged for sure. So we'll see about that, but I don't buy it. But definitely both teams have the capabilities of getting to the Super Bowl. But remember, rosters are going to change with both teams. You know what I mean? So we're going to find out about that. But again, I mean, I was excited for the Super Bowl, as I said before. Just trying to see if I left anything out. Oh, well, like I say, by the way, Monday, like I said, I ran into a guy, Raider Larry, and he pretty much, he was upset. Of course, he went for the Eagles. And but as I told him, don't go by your heart. Go by how you feel. But I want to give a shout out to Larry. What's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it. But as I told everybody last week, that I felt that the Kansas City Chiefs were going to upend the Philadelphia Eagles, and they did that. But what I will say before I end it is Jalen Hurts outplayed Patrick Mahomes. If you look at the statistics, yardage, he had over 300-some yards. Excuse me, Jalen Hurts did. Then if you look at Patrick Mahomes, he had a $182, so basically 182 yards. So, but Jalen Hurts also, I believe he broke the record. He for touchdowns ran in. He had 3 touchdowns. I believe the previous record was Terrell Davis, but I know he ran in for 3 touchdowns. So give kudos to Jalen Hurts. And hopefully the Philadelphia Eagles will be back. I'm not going to say they are. I'm not going to say they're not, but hopefully they'll be back. But if you look at the last couple of years, teams that have made it to the Super Bowl has not even made the playoffs, let alone get into the playoffs. And the last team to come back to lose the Super Bowl and actually win it by getting there is Tom Brady and the New England Patriots back in 2018. They defeated the LA Rams in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. But it's always tough to get back there. Excuse me. NBA news. Oh, my gosh. So since the trade that the Lakers made to acquire all those players, they're 2-1. They defeated the Golden State Warriors, as we well know, the night before the Super Bowl Saturday. And, of course, they lost to the Portland Trail Blazers Monday, and then LeBron came back Wednesday as the Los Angeles Lakers blew out the New Orleans Pelicans with the score 120-102. So they're 2-1 coming into the All-Star break. As we know, All-Star Weekend is this weekend. Actually, it started earlier tonight, of course, with I guess you would call it like a version of an all-star game with the sophomores playing against the rookies, of course, of this rookie class. And, of course, the sophomores won. I do know that. I think, who is it, Jose Alvarado? Am I saying his name right? He ended up being MVP because they played 2 games. I know the first game was 40-25, and I know the second game, whoever got to 25 wins the game. Now, hold on, don't quote me. I missed that, you know what I'm saying? I missed that, because the fact that I was trying to set up in here, so not making excuses, but I know the MVP was Alvarado, I believe. So he was the MVP. He's the point guard of the New Orleans Pelicans, in case y'all don't know. He's a scrappy point guard. He comes in off the bench. But anyhow, they won. And but it's going to be interesting this All-Star weekend. You know what I'm saying? There is still like an East versus West, but it's more as like captain. So you have Giannis, the Greek Freak. He's representing the East. He's the captain. And, of course, LeBron James is the captain of the West team. Mike Malone of the Denver Nuggets will coach LeBron's team. And I want to say the East, I'm not too for sure on that because it wasn't headlined. But I want to say it should be the coach of the Celtics now. He should be coaching Giannis' team. But I'm excited for the second half of the NBA. You know what I'm saying? I want to see how Kevin Durant does with the Phoenix Suns. I know Reggie Jackson signed with Denver. Hopefully he does well there. I also want to see what team Patrick Beverley goes to. I want to see what team now. Oh, real quick, Kevin Love got brought out of his contract from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I'm interested to see exactly what team Kevin Love goes to. There's been speculation that 2 teams have been narrowed down, either the Phoenix Suns, the LA Lakers, but I know before that the team that was at first emerged was the Miami Heat. My personal opinion, not being biased as a Laker fan, but I think he should go to the Phoenix Suns. And why I say that is because the Phoenix Suns, they traded a lot of their players to Brooklyn, the Brooklyn Nets. And so if they get Kevin Love, he can still space the floor. He can shoot the 3-point shot, and he's a great rebounder. And the Suns don't have that because they traded Sherrock to OKC, the OKC Oklahoma City Thunder. They have Biyombo, but he's not an outside shooter. He's a great rebounder, a great scorer. Not garbage time, but I'll just call him more like the junkyard dog. He gets his points, offensive rebounds, gets dishes and dimes from, let's say, Cameron Payne or like Chris Paul. But if they get Kevin Love, on the other hand, along with Terrence Ross, who signed after being brought out by the Orlando Magic, I just believe Kevin Love could give them 10 to 15 points per game, snag anywhere from 8 to 10 rebounds per game, and gives them that championship DNA because he's also won a championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers back in 2016. We all know the 3-1 deal versus the Golden State Warriors. So with that being said, he would definitely help out the Phoenix Suns and give them a great opportunity to be in position to represent the West for the NBA championship. But however, not being biased, it is what it is. Stats don't lie, they multiply. But if he goes to the Lakers now, that gives them another scorer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but they're already loaded, I feel, with talent. The Lakers are now. And I'm not going to go down to the list with the players because all you NBA fans should be following, especially at the NBA trading deadline. To me, I still say it was the greatest NBA trading deadline of all time. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you get names like Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, even D'Angelo Russell, you know what I'm saying? Just them names itself means something. You know what I'm saying? So, wow. I mean, it was just a great NBA trading deadline. But if you want more information about, about like my prediction with trades and just things that happen, you can always check me out on Twitter. I want to get that out there. A little bit on Instagram, a little bit on Facebook, but mainly Twitter. I tweet every day, whether if it's NFL, NBA, MLB, boxing, even pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, rest in peace to Jerry Jarrett. I apologize. Jerry Jarrett, the father of Jeff Jarrett, who actually co-founded TNA Impact Wrestling back in 2002. He passed away. He was like 80 years old, and he was a great promoter, a great guy from what I've been told. If you go back down memory lane back in I believe it was the 70s, he owned Continental Wrestling, Memphis Wrestling. Of course, we all know Jerry the King Lawler was a big part of that federation. So he owned that federation, which was called Territories back then. And of course, he brought World Class Championship Wrestling from the Von Erichs, Kerry and Kevin, and turned it into USWA, United States Wrestling Association. And of course, that went out of business. And of course, him and his son, Jeff Jarrett, the legendary Jeff Jarrett, they formed TNA Impact Wrestling, which is still in existence. But he passed away Tuesday. So I just want to give my shout outs to him. You know what I'm saying? Because I used to watch his federation as a kid, and of course, as a youngster, and of course, as a grown man. So I got a lot of respect for him. You know what I'm saying? Never met him, but just saying the product that he had, he did his best to materialize it and to market it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there because I don't talk a lot about pro wrestling on my YouTube channel, but definitely on Anchor or Podbean, I definitely talk about it. So if you want to check out my wrestling expertise, definitely go to either Anchor or go to Podbean. One day I'll get on here and I'll discuss a little bit more wrestling. But anyhow, go on Twitter. I show a lot of ending wrestling matches, or whether it's Mid-South, World Class Championship Wrestling, NWA, AWA, WWF, even WWE. I do show highlights of ending matches. So just go back, old school pro wrestling. That's me. So, yeah, but I'm excited for this All-Star weekend. Of course, tomorrow is the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, the NBA three-point shooting contest. Of course, we got the NBA skills competition. Then we all know Sunday's the main event, y'all. You know what I mean? We got the NBA All-Star game that comes on, I believe, at 5 o'clock, 5:30 on TNT. I do know that. So, West Coast time, 5:30. Central time is going to be 7:30 p.m. And, of course, Eastern time, New York, Atlanta, you feel me, New Orleans. Well, I believe it's Louisiana. Well, some parts of Louisiana, Florida, you know what I'm saying? They're going to tip off at like 8:30. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to put that out there. That's all. Then, of course, I'm excited for the second half of the season. March Madness, so we know that's coming up. So I'm going to do my little special on March Madness. Don't trip, y'all. Purdue has lost 3 in a row. They were number one
it's crazy how, they ranked number 2 or 3. They just lost to Northwestern. You know what I'm saying? They've been losing. They just been losing to teams that they shouldn't lose to. They lost to Indiana too, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, Purdue can get it together. They've never been to a Final Four. I just want to let y'all know that. They've never been to a Final Four. So hopefully they can get their act together, go back to the drawing board, see what they're doing wrong, see what they need to improve on, and just get into the tournament and win those 4 or 5 games, get to the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? Alabama was number 1. They lost to Tennessee. The Tennessee Vows. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't put too much input into college basketball, too much like I used to in the regular season, because the fact that, to me, I feel like the games are meaningless. That's just my opinion, and I'm not being disrespectful. What I mean by meaningless, I'm saying like a team like Purdue that could lose to Northwestern, it's meaningless, I feel, because the fact that it's going to help Northwestern. Now, I believe they're going to get into the tournament, but I'm saying with Purdue, they can learn from it because they get to the tournament. Now you play a team like Northwestern. Now you can't afford to lose that game. So maybe it's not that meaningless, but I feel like, now what I mean by meaningless, I'm saying that I don't think it'll necessarily hurt their seeding chances, as long as they're in the top 5 and they win the Big Ten tournament, especially if they dominate it. You know what I mean? If they dominate it, then to me that one loss don't mean anything to me, to like a Northwestern who is unranked. You feel me? I'm just saying, stats don't lie, they multiply. I'm just saying, and then the Big Ten is one of those, one of the top 4 conferences in all the NCAA college basketball that we got. So I'm not really too concerned about that. And I can see if Gonzaga lost to, let's say, the USF Dons. Now, no diss. I'm from Frisco, San Francisco, California. I love the Dons. But I'm saying if they lost to them because they're not ranked, or if they lose to Loyola Marymount, they lose to Pepperdine. Now, if you get 3 losses from them, now I would be concerned, you know what I'm saying, if I'm a Gonzaga fan, or if I'm a fan that's going to pick them, you know what I'm saying, to go to the Final Four, you feel me? I'll definitely be concerned, but it doesn't mean they won't get to the Final Four. They can learn from losing to those unranked teams, you know what I mean? And then they can just put the pedal to the metal, let the feet hit the flow, and then the rest is history, you know what I'm saying? So, but again, I mean, I just don't put a lot into it no more, like I say. Now, when next month come conference tournaments, you feel me, conference championships, of course I'm going to be watching, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that I don't watch now, I follow, but I'm not too enthused of like the regular season anymore. That's just me. And as I said before, part of the reason why I'm not so enthused, with the regular season, because there's too many, I feel like that there's too many non-conference tournaments, and we see all these teams play and they can play again. Not saying that it don't mean anything, but I'm saying, to me, I just don't agree with it. That's all, because I think it's just a waste of time. They should go back to the way how it used to be. Call me old or not, but I remember back when they had more like conference challenges. They still do, but I'm saying that. But all these tournaments are like watered down. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. And maybe it is good for college basketball. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's not, but it's just too watered down. That's like how they say how they're going to have a 90-team tournament. Now, in that aspect, at first, I was against it, but now I'm with it. Because, see, my team like USF, let's say the Cowbears, you feel me? But now they're no 3-25 record. But I'm just saying, if they're like above 500, barely 500, they're going to get a chance to get in now. You know what I'm saying? And then it's more money. It generates money for the colleges. But on top, what I like about it the most is that the college players are actually getting paid now. Not all, but the majority of some that are getting paid. So I do like that. Yeah, so, I mean, and then, so let's go back to the NBA. But I just can't wait to see, real quick, a note that is crucial for the LA Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers, but they got to win 15 out of their last 25 games to make it to the playing game. And will Russell Westbrook sign with the Clippers? As I predicted, he's going to sign with the LA Clippers. He's just weighing his options, okay, but he's going to sign with the LA Clippers. And watch him show out with the Clippers. What did Paul George and Marcus Morris say? They got shooters. They don't need them to shoot. To me, that's a low blow to the Lakers, because the Clippers at that time were more talented than the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So come on, y'all. Stop throwing jabs at the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we'll see what he does. I want to see where Patrick Beverly goes. I want to see where Kevin Love goes. I want to see where Serge Ibaka goes. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. If I missed out on any other players, which I don't think I did, but hopefully those players get signed too. But we'll see. But I love the fact that they announced the 12 finalists
for the NBA Basketball Hall of Fame, or I believe it's just like the Naismith Hall of Fame. Okay, well, whichever one. NBA Hall of Fame, yeah. So I'm not reading all 12. The ones that I know. Starting off with Dwayne Wade, of course, a three-time NBA champion with the Miami Heat. To me, he's one of the top 10 greatest shooting guards of all time. Next is Dirk Nowitzki. What else can you say about the guy? He finally won his elusive NBA championship back in 2011. He's one of the greatest power forwards to ever play. You could say top 10. Of course, you have Pau Gasol, one of the top big men in NBA history. He won back-to-back championships with the Lakers. So he's definitely in the Hall of Fame. He had a illustrious career with the Memphis Grizzlies, too. You have Tony Parker. What else can you say about the gentleman from France? He's won 4 NBA championships with the San Antonio Spurs. Definitely changed the Spurs culture when he was drafted. And as he got better, remember, former MVP of the NBA Finals, too. Won't forget about Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki. They both won MVPs of their NBA final championships that they won, of course. And of course, Greg Popovich, one of the greatest coaches of all time, maybe top 3, top 2, whatever you want to rank him, that's fine. But he's won 5 championships with the San Antonio Spurs, built a longevity dynasty, still coaching. So you got to give him credit. Of course, now let's go to the WNBA players. Well, I don't know if Jennifer Azzi played in WNBA. I don't remember, but anyhow, she won a national championship with the Stanford Cardinal back in 1990. So she's headed to the Hall of Fame. Also, she was head coach of the USF Dons, my crew of the women's college basketball team. Led them to a Sweet 16. Couple tournament appearances, I believe. Don't quote me. And also Becky Hammond. What else can you say about her? A stud, played well, won a championship, I believe, this year with the Las Vegas Ace. I hope I'm getting that right. The first woman to ever become an assistant coach for NBA team, San Antonio Spurs. What else can you say? Congratulations. And of course, college basketball. I can't forget about Gene Cady out of Purdue. All those years at Purdue. Never got to a Final Four, but he got to an Elite Eight with who? Big dog, Glenn Robinson. Remember that? Conzo Martin was on that team, too. Now he's the head coach of the Missouri Tigers. Wait, is he the head coach of the Missouri Tigers? I don't know. But anyhow, former head coach, if not the head coach of the Missouri Tigers, head coach of the Cowbears, head coach of the Tennessee Vols. Anyhow, so I want to give a shout-out to all those players and coaches, NBA, WNBA, NCAA college basketball coaches, and the rest of the class I didn't name. Congratulations of making it to the Hall of Fame. And before I go, please make sure you put a like on my page and of course subscribe. Come on, please subscribe, support my channel. You know what I'm saying? But I do this for the passion, so I'm not worried about the money because the money's already there. You know what I'm saying? Trust me when I say that. But I'm good. No, really, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But please, you know what I'm saying, hit that like, subscribe. I'm not begging. I don't beg for nothing. But I'm putting it out there. So I appreciate that because I do this for y'all. Let y'all know about my expertise. I have a lot of credentials. But like I say, I am going to discuss more NCAA college basketball. Oh, and women's college basketball, listen, it doesn't make sense to even bring it up because South Carolina is dominating. I believe they're undefeated right now. No, they are undefeated. They just beat one of their rivals, LSU, the LSU Tigers in women's basketball. They were ranked too. Oh, yeah, they just wiped them off. And they wiped off Connecticut. Come on. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win it, but I'm saying I would pencil them in the Final Four. Don Staley, you're doing one hell of a job at South Carolina. So if you got any South Carolina YouTube, viewers on here, thumbs up. Can't say that about the men's of South Carolina, the Gamecocks. But I'm just saying, women's, y'all doing it. Yeah, so got a lot of boxing coming up. Now, through sources now with boxing, now for the unified World Heavyweight Championship, WBO, IBF, WBA, and WBC, supposedly in April.
Tyson Fury is going to put his WBC title up against the unified champion, Alexander Usyk. He holds WBO, IBF, and WBA heavyweight championship. If it is true, I'm going to watch that fight. I'm looking forward to it. I am. Oh, of course, WrestleMania is coming up. All you wrestling fans out there, WrestleMania is coming up, of course. It's WWE, not WWF. Just want to put that out there. So that'll be coming up next month, which is March. So, yeah. But I had fun tonight doing my show. Very grateful, very thankful. Thank you, YouTube, for giving me the opportunity to have a voice. But real quick, if you want to follow me more to my YouTube viewers, you can go to Anchor. I try to complete a show every week. If not every week, every 2 weeks. Podbean now, I do all my wrestling there. That's my baby. I do all my wrestling. I do have a show. Definitely that's going to come up. So I'm going to talk about some wrestling, of course. And as I said before, if you want to look at some of my Twitter old school pro wrestling videos, they're on there. I do it every Saturday. It's called Old School Pro Wrestling, Saturday Night Fever. So I do it every Saturday, late night, early Sunday morning. 5 different federations. I throw different endings of the matches on there. You can definitely check me out. That's all. So I am doing that. I'm going to try to get more clips of NBA, more college basketball, both men and women. You know what I'm saying? I am. I mean, I'm gonna do my diligence. So that's it. Season 1, episode 6. So I'm happy. I'm good. Catch me this Sunday. Definitely, I'll be ready. Talking NBA All-Star Weekend, of course. Whatever else comes about, if it's NFL, a little bit of Major League Baseball. I normally like to wait until, let's say, opening day of Major League Baseball. But anyhow, I'll talk a little baseball. Don't worry. A little hockey too. Give you some scores, some additions, news and notes. But definitely NBA, NFL, NCAA March Madness. Remember, y'all, it's right around the corner. But I want to thank everybody who is supporting my show. Again, I'm going to have a contest coming up soon, but I need those subscribers and those likes. So thank you very much. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Thank you very much. I will definitely check y'all out this coming Sunday. Peace. Holla. James Von 007 is out. Another one bites the dust.